watch it.
What did Santa bring you, little girl?
Santa brought me nothing. I'm afraid I was
You must have been a very bad little girl.
Yes.
I'll get your number later.
Sorry.
But some other people were very, very good.
The cameraman is very fond of Santa's bad girl list. Here. There we go.
This lovely, I love this. We can't wait to try out the ice cream maker. Unfortunately, it's Christmas Day and all the stores are closed, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow to go get ingredients. And, well, my very favorite Eris gloves to keep my hands toasty. My bride. And a wonderful sweater dress from my father. My father always manages to pick out something that I really, really want. And from my lovely sister and brother-in-law, this perfect briefcase that I will use as a purse. I really love it. It smells so good. It does. I love the smell of leather things.
And do you have any messages?
And I just want to thank you all dearly.
Wonderful.
Now you may turn off the camera.
It's not, there's no prize for who finds the most. Who finds the most doesn't even get the most.
This is a picture of Kathy. Easter Bunny, erstwhile Easter Bunny and referee. Kathy, why don't you narrate? Tell everybody.
There's a spider web there.
Tell everybody where you're at.
We are at the residence of Mr. and Mrs. Larry E. Pearson in West Lynn, Oregon, celebrating the 4th of July with their family, with Margaret and Leo Pearson, with Arthur Crawford, and with Marianne and Richard Biscoe.
And Lily Pearson.
You are part of my family.
Now, in order to wrap the turkey properly, you must put the foil across the plate. I don't live here.
And get the children's
I don't live here.
out of your mouth. Don't tickle me. Hi. Once again, Ron saved the best for last. Here I am to wish you all the best holiday season ever. We've had a very busy week. We're getting ready for a busy holiday season. Next weekend we're going up to Interlaken, Ron and Lily and I, to a Christmas party and staff retreat, and I'm looking forward to spending time in the swimming pool and hot tub and just generally enjoying ourselves with friends. Jennifer finishes finals around the 15th of December, so she'll be home soon. And we look forward to having her at home for over a month. Lily goes to school till the 23rd, so she won't have as much time, as long a vacation this year as she's had some other years. I will probably keep on working right up until Christmas Eve and be working after Christmas as well. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing, having a good time with all the busyness in the country's largest shopping mall. And we wish we could all be with you during the holidays, but we certainly will be thinking about each and every one of you. Merry Christmas.
Person fix for Christmas.
Doritos.
And now, what did you get for Christmas, little girl?
All kinds of things.
Like what?
What was your favorite, Mom?
What was your favorite thing? I'm getting the back of your head here.
They're all my favorite things. I could not select just one.
Well, I think you should.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
I think
All tires on sale. Friday through Sunday at Sears. Your home for the holidays. Here's a whole other kind of chips. Presto Chip Shop Potato Chipper. Slices so thin they crisp.
Well, there.
That's good.
Let's go.
Okay, come on now. Wait for Mommy. Wait for Mommy.
I'll get a picture of Kathleen exiting the boat with her coffee. Say hello to all your many fans.
Hello, fans.
Your attention, please.
Since 1827, every married couple in my family, now Lily and Greg will be the 7th generation to drink their first toast from this cup. Starting in Gotland. It'll be more fun to watch you try to drink out of it this way. You can pour what's left in the regular glasses. So toast each other.
You just each take a drink.
You each take a drink and you can say anything you like.
Jakey.
Interesting question. I am thankful for the family that I grew up in, for having such a good childhood. I am thankful for my husband, with whom I have a very nice life. And I'm thankful that I have such entertaining daughters. You're my daughter. You are. You come into that category. And I'm thankful that they both have such good young men. And I'm thankful that I have such noisy grandchildren who are great fun. And I'm thankful every morning when I look out my window for living in such a wonderful place. The end. Taking dinosaurs off this island is the worst idea in the
Jurassic
long,
Park.
sad
Jurassic
history
Park 2.
of bad ideas.
Jurassic Park 3.
No!
And
No,
I'm
you
going to
don't
be
get it
there
then.
when you learn that.
You don't get it then.
That's not the title.
She just told him it was the second movie. She put up 2 fingers.
The Lost World.
She can't do that. You can't tell him it's a second movie by putting
Well,
up
he
2
got it
fingers.
right. He said the 2, and I was going, but more.
But they didn't give it to us.
What do you like best about Jake?
He's my grandson.
That's it.
No, Jake is fun. He likes to go camping. He likes to go hiking and have special Mama Jakey days. And I enjoy those very much.
Thank you.
And he has interesting things to say. He has an interesting view of the world. Sometimes amusing, sometimes startling, but always interesting.
even though it works,
And that is only the beginning.
What do you like best about Jennifer?
Well, having been the first one who knew Jennifer in this family, and having accepted that she spent the months prior to her birth kicking one of my ribs into oblivion, everything from that point on has been uphill about her. She was adorable and good-natured as a child. People used to stop and say, "What do you do to get that child to smile?" And she was just always happy and easy to be around and loving. And she still is very loving and sweet and fun to be around. And I just like everything about her. I'm happy and proud to be her mother.
Dad?
And I'd like to apologize for my son-in-law, who continues to kiss up to his wife on this videotape. But everything about Jennifer is good.
Destroying it, go ahead and talk.
Nice.
Dad, you're being a drama queen.
Yes, you are.
So go ahead.
Why don't you just snap and shake your head and get it over with?
As Noelle's grandmother, I would like to say that I agree with everything. I like all the things that everybody else mentioned.
Yeah.
I also like
Try not.
the way she has such a beautiful spirit, and how beautifully she sings, and how excited she gets about finding things at the beach. And I enjoy her company. Thankful for many things. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to make an entire Thanksgiving dinner from scratch. I am thankful to have it in my brand new house with our lovely new blinds. You may, yes.
Are you allowed to?
Where the here? Let me get
That
Jake's.
Ron and I have gained skill of putting up.
Where are you sitting?
Where's
Go
my
find a
wine
place to
glass?
sit.
And I am thankful for the rest of my new house. I am thankful for my wonderful husband,
That's not my wine.
and who makes me laugh every day of my life, several times. And I am thankful for my beautiful daughters, and my beautiful grandchildren, and my wonderful sons-in-law.
You're over there, drunk one.
And
Let's eat.
We're kindred spirits. Thankful for food. You want that I can eat.
I'd like to share with you what I like about Greg. That's Greg Erb we're talking about, so there can be no mistakes here. I'm most happy that Greg makes my beautiful Lily very happy and handles her very well. And Greg fits into our family nicely. He's very easy to be around. He's very smart, and he's starting to get involved in this community, and we're all very proud of him, and we like him very much. Of his dinosaur studies. We were camping or traveling someplace in the road trek, and he went in the back to use the restroom. And I was sitting up in the driver's seat waiting on him, and pretty soon I heard this little voice, "Mama, Mama, is it okay if we make droppings?" Going out of Reedsport, where you're real close down to the Umpqua River, and all of a sudden he got all excited and started telling me about the alligators. So I don't know, at that time, I never did convince him that there were not alligators in the Umpqua River. And as far as I know, to this day, he thinks that there's alligators in the Umpqua River there. That's when I would take Jake camping at Sunset Bay. And he used to love to, of course, go down to the beach there, or even just over to the park area on the way to the beach. And one of the reasons he liked to is that every time there was a big culvert, and instead of having to cross the highway, you would walk under the highway through this culvert. And it was mandatory when we went through the culvert, according to Jake, that we had to stop and wait to be run over by a car. So one of his favorite things to do was to be run over by cars at Sunset Bay. Favorite places is the ranch. He has an emotional ownership in the ranch. And one of his most compelling experiences was spring break when he was in first grade. We were down at the ranch. Noelle had the chicken pox and she didn't get to go with us. And it was the first time he'd ever been up in the loft of the barn. And we walked over and we could look down into the feeding shed, or the loafing shed. And he looked down and he said, "Mama, there's a dead calf down there." And sure enough, I wasn't sure that it was dead, but he was. And it turned out that he was right. And so we went and we told Bob, and it was confirmed that yes, there was a dead calf down there, and pretty soon Bob came with the four-wheeler and picked it up and took it up to the carcass pile. And Jake's big regret is that he has never been to the carcass pile. He is exceedingly impressed that we have a place in the family that has a carcass pile. And he got back from spring break, and the first thing he told Mrs. Young, his teacher, was this experience of discovering this dead calf. He felt this innate ownership of this dead calf, that this discovery was like some huge archaeological dig or something in his little mind. But
Everybody's been talking about what do I like about Kathy. And I'm here to say nobody likes as much about Kathy as I do. You're the best person I've ever known in my life.
Thank you.
And I love you so much. You're the kindest, nicest, smartest, coolest person I know. I love you so much.
You're gonna make me cry.
Just give me a kiss.
I remember when we lived in Connecticut and she was 4 years old and we went into New York City for a week. She was very popular. She was so cute that every place we went, people fussed over her, and if we went in an elevator, they would let her ride on the elevator operator's lap and push the buttons. And when we went to Mama Leone's for dinner, which is a big Italian restaurant, everybody there thought she was so precious that they wouldn't let her feet touch the floor. They carried her everywhere, and when she got, they made her a bed out of chairs, and she went to sleep on the chairs. And then another special time.
Maybe
that
they just thought her feet were dirty.
No. Another special time I remember was when we were living in Hoffman Estates, and she must have been about 10 years old, and it was the last summer-like Sunday of the year. The leaves had all turned, and Jennifer was away at college, and you were on a trip, and Lily and I went up to Illinois Beach State Park for the day, and just had a wonderful, perfect weather kind of time, and she waded in the lake and found fossils, and I think we ate there, but it was just one of those perfect kinds of days that you remember. And since then there have been lots of other fun times. Since she's a grown-up, I enjoy going places and doing things with my Lily also. Thank you.
Or Kathleen.
Well, I have probably more to be thankful for this year than I've ever had before, and that's to have gotten through the health problems I've had this last year and know that everything's going to be okay. And I'm especially happy about that. I'm thankful for my children and grandchildren and their puppies. And all my good friends and relatives that are close to me. And that we live in such a nice place. And there's probably more, but that's all I can think of for right now. Elwood and I are committed in 2006 to having as much fun as anybody can possibly have. That's it. I think one of the things that I really enjoyed was when we went camping. And he would always make sure we had special treats, and mid-afternoons, if it was hot up in the mountains, he would read us comic books while we ate Snickers or Milky Way bars. That was a lot of fun. And then he was always playing practical jokes on us. And I remember one time at Todd Lake, he took the rake to make it sound like it was a bear scratching its claws on the outside of our tent. But we always went places every Sunday afternoon, someplace different, someplace always interesting and fun, and everything was just nice. Thank you. I'm done. She's about 15 months old, hadn't been walking very long. We took her to the zoo, and she insisted on walking 20 feet in front of us. And she would just go ahead, and then every few minutes she'd look back to make sure we were there, and she'd say, "Come on, guys." That's one of my favorite Jennifer stories, one of millions.
What about a
Ron story? Well, one of my personal favorites was we were both going to Oregon, but at different times. And we were on different planes from Chicago to Minneapolis. And Ron came running through the airport to my gate to kiss me goodbye one more time before I got on my plane, and he really had to rush to do it.
Very nice.
Miss Noel loves little tiny sweet pickles.
What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving, or did I already ask you?
Getting together with all the people I love. It's the
Happy
best part.
Thanksgiving Day
And then there's
to you.
I'm recording here, but the food is also very good. Eating too much is fun, and just knowing that everybody's going to have a nice time. About Ron as a daddy, and I appreciate that he always puts family first, and that my girls know that if they need help with anything, that he will be right there, whether they've been out drinking.
Hey.
Or they need help cleaning their house, whatever it is, or he'll be there for them. And I appreciate that, well, I guess that covers everything. You put family first and your kids first, then that's all that matters.
Kathleen, I want you to tell us why this birthday starts a special relationship between you and the United States government.
Because with this birthday, they start giving me money.
Ta-da!
Yes.
Child to irritate your mother?
Well, undoubtedly a number of things, but the one that I think irritated her the most happened before I was in school. She had made me this beautiful, adorable brown and green plaid dress, and the fabric just felt kind of yummy, almost soft like flannel, and it had this aroma to it that smelled so good. And about the same time my mother made this beautiful dress for me, I also got my first pair of children's scissors, and I can remember sitting there in that dress with those little scissors and looking at the fabric and thinking, I wonder if scissors cut cloth, and pinched up a piece of my dress and went snip and cut a big hole in it. And I don't blame her, but my mother didn't make me any clothes for a very long time after that. So she was annoyed, but it was my fault. Funny about Ron Pearson, and he makes me laugh probably close to 100 times a day. And one of the little ways one of the little things that he constantly does, and he does mostly for my entertainment, I think, is that for every little procedure that you go through during the day, he has either a song or a dance that he's made up to go with it. And he promised he would demonstrate, but he's backed out now. But this morning we had the dance of finding the tag so we knew where to put the bottom sheet on the bed. We also used to have he used to have a special song for the opening of a new bottle or jar of Metamucil. But for every little thing during the day, he's got either a song or a dance to go with it. And they crack me up.